All right, so starting Thursday the 8th, all compensation fields are going to be removed off of Onekey MLS. So all listings will have no information on whether or not broker compensation is being offered. If you're working with a buyer and you find a house on Onekey MLS, you're now going to have to call that listing agent and find out if they are offering any broker compensation. So this is done in ahead of the buyer broker agreement requirement. So on the 17th of August, there's going to be a requirement that anyone working with a buyer is going to have to enter into a buyer broker agreement. Now, this agreement can be exclusive or non-exclusive, and the non-exclusive looks a lot like what we have now, but one of the big differences is the buyer is going to be on the hook for the commission if seller compensation is not offered. So this is a big change, and it's going to be an interesting conversation with many buyers. We're working with our agents to provide best practices, to differentiate ourselves, and actually provide a value package of what we can offer, but definitely some big changes. So every house you show, you're going to need to know who's paying it. You're going to need to educate your buyer if the seller is not paying it. And one of the things that we're seeing on MLS is the seller's concession field. So seller's concessions have been around forever, and they can be used for lots of different buyer costs, closing costs, which include a potential real estate commission. So if you do see that little yes and a dollar amount of what sort of concessions a seller would consider, that's an indication the seller is willing to hear out providing some sort of concession to pay the buyer broker agreement. But that is going to be done on an offer level, and it's negotiable. Just because you see that there does not mean that it's included automatically. So it has to be done with the offer. And it's probably always a good idea to firm that up and have a conversation with the listing agent beforehand, before you make that offer, that there is going to be a seller's concession. Lots of moving parts. There's going to be standard operating procedures and best practices, and those are going to be changed over the next weeks into months from a lot of real estate professionals and brokerages advising their agents. We had a great sales meeting the other day, talking about this in detail, providing some guidance, and as always, there's going to be some unique situations, and those unique situations should definitely be consulted with your manager and even the NISOR legal hotline. If you have any questions, love to reach out to me and try to be a resource for you. Good luck.